Dari Utsman ibn Affan berkata, aku mendengar Nabi SAW bersabda, sesiapa yang membaca Bismillahilladzi la yadurru ma'asmihi syai'un fil ardi wala fis sama' wa huwas sami'ul alim, yang bermaksud dengan nama Allah yang dengan namanya tidak ada sesuatu pun yang dapat memberikan kemudaratan di bumi maupun di langit. Dialah yang maha mendengar lagi maha mengetahui. Sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala yang datang secara tiba-tiba sehingga subuh. Dan barang siapa yang membacanya ketika subuh sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala secara tiba-tiba sehingga petang, iaitu malam. Hadis rawahu Abu Dawud menurut Syekh Syu'ib Al-Arnud. Hadis ini adalah hasan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all the viewers, to all and everyone, the viewers, the candidates, the students. And this session is particularly for MUET candidates for Session 1 2021. Welcome to the web page, welcome to FB page. You are watching a program named Tuisyen Online, Perlis Mengaji, synergized by Perlis Education Department, Perlis Islamic Department, as well as Perlis Islamic Council. Welcome to the page. Thank you for your time being with me, and hopefully you will stay with me within this hour for some beneficial information and guidance regarding on the new syllabus of MUET starting 2021. You are to be introduced to a new syllabus of MUET which will be effective in the initial MUET session in 2021. So I'm going to first introduce the MUET Cfr. It is called MUET Cfr for Session 1 2021 and thereafter. And also I will touch a bit on reading component of MUET. The paper is coded as 800/3. Okay, for those who are the new, those who are the beginners of MUET test, you should know a bit about MUET. I will give you some overviews on MUET test. Right? So, as everyone knows, this MUET is an English test for the adult learners. Yeah? So nowadays, teachers are also encouraged to sit for MUET. And this MUET is for one of the condition to enter first degree level university. Yeah? And it is also for English teachers teaching at schools, at matriculation centers, and also teaching college. So English speakers or users in education sectors are also encouraged to sit for MUET. So this MUET is actually purposely to measure English language proficiency and language ability among the candidates, among the speakers or among the learners, and also the educators. And basically MUET tests on 4 main skills of the language, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, the maximum score is 360, and these actually categorize to the bands whereby the candidates actually are assessed from band 1 to band 5 plus. So this is the new syllabus of MUET, when all the candidates are assessed their language ability based on band 1 to band 5 plus. So this MUET is actually administered 3 times per year, and upon completion, a certificate will be given. Okay, let us move on to some information on the score, MUET score. Okay, so the highest score, as I mentioned earlier, is 360, right? And the minimum, of course, 1. So in order to gain proficient level of user, so it is for the candidate to obtain the score ranging from 294 to 360. So that is the band of 5 and 5 plus. Yeah? So this is the competent level for the language users. Okay, specifically for MUET. And then for independent users, or we can consider as moderate language users, it is from band 3 to 4.5. The maximum score for these bands is 293, and the lowest is 123. Okay, the another lowest level is considered as basic user. Okay, the bands ranging from 1 to 2.5, right? And the maximum score for this level of users is 1 to 2. So this is at a glance, yeah, the score that candidates have to obtain in order to get the bands that they favor. Okay, so I didn't mention just now, it is about MUET CFR. Yeah? So the new syllabus actually being aligned with the CFR descriptors or levels. Yeah? So what is CFR actually? Yeah? So this is a framework. Yeah? This is a framework introduced by British Council. Yeah? It is the acronym of Common European Framework Reference for Languages. Yeah? It is actually globally recognized, yeah, to describe the language ability of the learners and also the educators. Yeah? So it is international standard of teaching and learning languages. There are 3 levels of language proficiency in CFR framework. It is A1 and A2, it is for basic learners. B1 and B2 is for independent learners. And proficient level is C1 and C2. Yeah? And then the latest MUET band actually are aligned, yeah, to CFR descriptors or the levels. Okay, this is at a glance the levels of CFR, CFR global skills that the candidates or the learners, yeah, are actually being labeled or being leveled based on the categories, yeah, based on the categories, whether they are the basic users, whether they are independent users, or whether they are proficient enough. Yeah? So this is a glance. So C1, C2 considered as the levels for the proficient users. Yeah? And then B1, B2, these levels are for independent users. Okay, so this is descriptors for those levels. So this is the framework of for CFR, and these actually being aligned to the MUET score and bands. Yeah? Okay, so so now I'm going to introduce to the new task specification. Yeah, the task specification, the task components for MUET CFR. We still use as MUET, yeah, for the name of the task itself. Yeah. So for task components, There are still 4 components, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. All these components actually carries 25%, the weighting is 25%, and the score for each of the component is 90. So the score actually is allocated equally, for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, this is the weighting, 25 for each of the component. So listening is 800/1, speaking 800/2, reading 800/3, writing 800/4. So every component carries 25%, and the score is equally 90. Okay, so for today, I'm going to give some focus on the reading component. I'm going to give the focus on reading component. So we are going to discuss some of the format, the task specification, the skills involved, right? And then you will try some of the questions, for maybe part 1 and part 2. I'll try to guide you for those 2 parts. So this is only the introduction to reading task. At a glance, why not we try doing the parts together, at the same time. Okay. So reading, this one is just some sayings about reading. So it's very important to reflect our reading. So reading without reflecting is like eating without digesting. Or reading is the exercise to the mind. Reading is the exercise to the mind. Okay, so basically, MUET reading paper 800/3 consists of 7 parts. There are 7 parts in the question. Okay, there are 40 MPC questions in the reading paper. There are 10 texts presented, and then you are given 75 minutes to answer the questions, and the weighting is 25%, and the score is 90. Okay. Okay, let us see. The 7 parts of reading paper. The 7 parts of reading component. Okay. So there are 7 parts in that reading test, reading component. Part 1 is multiple matching. Part 1 is the part where the candidate actually are given with 3 different short texts, short passages. And there are 4 questions for that. Part 2 and part 3, it is the MCQs questions. There are 10 questions for part 2 and part 3. For part 4, also, there are MCQs where the students or the candidates have to answer 6 questions based on the passage. Part 5 is a gap text. Part 5 is a gap text with 6 missing sentences. So you are given actually 7 options to complete a gap text, and there are 6 missing sentences. Okay. For part 6 to 7, there are also the MCQs questions. 14 questions for part 6 to 7. So altogether, 40 questions. Okay. Now let us browse through the reading skills. The reading skills involved in order to, master the reading. There is a list of speaking skill. There are many skills that you have to master in order to get a favorable band for your reading, in order to get a favorable score for your reading. Okay, so this is the list of reading skill that you have to pay attention on. Okay, so within this limited time given, it is it's quite impossible for me to explain, to guide you for every single skill listed here. But we try to, I try to make you understand better the reading skill when we do question or we attempt the question in part 1 and part 2. Okay, so first and foremost, of course, reading involves the skills of reading multiple texts for specific factual information. Candidates are to read for main ideas and supporting details. So you must know what is the main idea, what is the supporting detail for a particular paragraph, let's say, or for the particular main idea or topic sentence in a paragraph. You are to make inference, candidates are to make inference, the skill of inferencing, you have to infer. So what is inferencing actually? So when you infer, or when the readers infer, it involves you to make conclusion based on the evidences and the reasons stated or written in the passage, right? So inferencing is actually making conclusion based on evidence or evidences and the reasons. Okay, and then candidates have to identify details and examples to support an argument. You are to predict outcomes. So there may be questions asked you about what would happen later, okay, or you have to guess, or you have to expect, you have to anticipate what would happen, or what would happen at the end, or maybe any other relevant outcomes that involve in the passage or the text. Understanding the main ideas and supporting details, right, and also the gist. So you should know what is the main idea of the whole passage, what is the main idea of the whole text, what are the details, what are the explanations to support the main ideas, what are the details to support the topic sentence of a particular paragraph. And also you have to also know the gist, right, the substance, the essence, the essence of the idea, the particular paragraph. It is about the essence. And then it is to understand the text organization features, how the text is organized. So the first paragraph normally is the introduction, and then the next paragraphs will be the content. The last paragraph is normally the closure. So you must understand how the text is organized. And then the skill to deduce, reducing the meaning from context. You have to understand. You have to understand maybe a word or a phrase or an expression in the text that you have to actually understand and assume, and then conclude the meaning based on the passage. And then next skill is distinguishing facts and opinions. It is to point out a difference, to separate a fact from the opinion. So you must know this statement or the statement that you have read is actually the facts, and then another expression or another statement in the text is the opinion. You must know how to differentiate the facts and the opinion. Okay, the next skill, you have to interpret as well the text for author's intention, the author's attitudes, and also the author's style. So remember, this is reading, so it is you are reading a text written by a writer. So there might be a reason, or there might be reasons why the author actually has written that particular article, for example. So you must understand and try to translate what is actually why the authors or why the writer writes, and then what is the attitude. It's not directly mentioned, but you have to also infer. Yeah, also the style of the writing. You also have to compare and evaluating information in different texts. Yeah, to compare and evaluate information. Actually, there are questions when you are given with the different texts. Yeah, for example, in part 1, there are three different short texts where you have to compare, to evaluate every single information provided. And then identifying the purpose of a paragraph, and then recognizing the text structure of the whole text, identifying cause and effect relationship in a text. This happens, or these actually happen as well. So cause and effect relationship, you must know how to relate. Recognizing text content features. There should be some details, opinions, emotion, attitude, writer's purpose, the main idea and implication actually sometimes embedded in the writer's writing. And recognizing text organization features, you must know which one is the example, which one is a comparison, and also the references. So recognizing in there means you must know how to identify, the features, to identify the, let's say, author's attitudes, author's intention, the purpose of the text and all. Okay, so you're done with the list of skill. Now we move on. Let us see the text type normally involved in the questions. Okay. There are 10 texts. Ranging from short and simple text. Normally in part 1, the texts are short, the texts are simple, right? And then there are also factual texts. There are long and complex. There are long and complex texts involved. Other than that, lengthy, complex texts would be also the possible genres in the reading paper or reading component. Okay. Now, we are going to move on to looking at the parts in reading component. So there are 7 parts, but I'm going to only touch a bit on part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. So we are going to actually explore the text together. We do together. Okay. So part 1 is a part where there are 3 different text types. There are 3 different texts. There are 3 different texts. Sorry. And then normally there are short and simple. There are short and simple. There are 3 short, simple texts ranging from advertisement, announcement, notices, official documents, signs, the labels, and directories. So the texts are simple and short. The texts are simple and short. And the reading skill involved is reading for multiple texts. Reading for multiple texts. Reading multiple texts for specific factual information. It's very easy reading. I would say that. I have to say that. It's quite a simple reading where you have to specify the factual information. So you are just to read and locate the specific information. Okay, the task is to choose which text. So you are going to choose which text, whether text A or text B or text C as the answer, and indicate the answer in the answer sheet. So this is a task. Actually, all these 3 texts are labeled as A, B, and C, and you are to identify which text write down which tag as the answer on the answer sheet. Okay. Okay, this is the sample of questions. This is the sample of question for part 1. Okay, so this is the question. So for for part 1, the questions appear first, yeah, and then followed by the text. Okay, for this sample, you are given with 3 notices about houses for rent. Okay, part 1, the instruction is written as, read 3 notices about houses for rent. Answer question 1 to 4 based on the notices about houses for rent, which are A to C. Okay, so you are given 4 questions. Yeah? You are given 4 questions, and then you are to write the answers on the given space. Yeah? On the given space, on the answer sheet itself. Okay, so question is about which house, 1, has easy parking. Number 2, which house is the closest to the shop? Number 3, which house is suitable for nature lovers? And number 4, which house has no bedroom furniture? So in the next slide, you will be reading 3 different notices about houses for rent. Right? So the text will look like this. Yeah? So the notices are labeled as A, B, and C. Okay. For notice A, okay, it is about a house, 2-story house for rent, right? And it is special for university students. Notice A is written as special for university students. And the description for this, 2-story house for rent, which consists of 4 rooms and 3 bathrooms. Fully furnished. Fully furnished means full of the furniture. The furniture is available in the house. No animals allowed. Available in September onwards. Nearby public transport. Short walk to banks, university, and Happy Garden shopping mall. And the rent is only Rm 300 per room. Okay. And the second notice, or B notice, is new house for rent at Palm Villa. It is 3-room house, empty, except for cooker and fridge. So it means that there are only cooker and a fridge provided in the house. Yeah? Only 5 minutes by car to university, clinic, local stores and food courts. Quiet and comfortable environment opposite a large park. Safety ensured when you are actually provided with door and window grills installed. Yeah? Okay. Notice C is looking for female housemaid. Okay, it is a single room at Rm 350 per month, inclusive of electricity and water bills. Yeah, so 350, Rm 350 including electricity and water bills. There are study table, chair, standing fan, wardrobe, single bed, window grill with mosquito net, washing machine and refrigerator. And there is a covered garage area for up to 3 cars. Okay, this is the text for the question in part 1. Okay, so okay, you may allocate some time to actually try to attempt the questions Okay, so this is the suggested responses for what we did for part 1. Okay. Okay, so which house has easy parking? It is house C, right? Which the explanation of covered garage area for up to 3 cars. And then number 2, which house is the closest to the shops? Okay, it is A, notice, closest to the shop, that there is the description of short walk to banks, university and happy garden shopping malls. Okay, and question number 3, suitable for nature lovers, it is B. New house for rent, it is B, where the description of quiet and comfortable environment, and it is opposite a large park. And number 4, which house has no bedroom furniture? It is B, when the notice mentioned here about empty except for cooker and fridge. Okay, so that is for part 1. So basically part 1 involves you to read and locate relevant information. We move on to part 2 now. Okay, part 2. So the text type would be a straightforward factual text, part 2. It is only a straightforward factual text. Might be short stories, like magazines or newspaper articles, the blogs, biographies. Biographies is actually an account or accounts of someone's life, written by someone. Emails, informal letter or formal letter. Okay, so part 2 actually tests you on the skill of reading for main ideas and supporting details. Also the skill of inferencing or making inference, the skills of identifying detailed examples to support an argument, and predicting outcomes. And the task for part 2 needs you to choose from options A, B, or C as the correct answer and indicate the answer on the answer sheet. Okay, let us see the sample of question for part 2. So for part 2, for this sample, it is an email from a university lecturer. From a university lecturer. So you are to answer questions 5 to 9 based on the email. Okay, the instruction written as, read an email from a university lecturer. Answer questions 5 to 9 based on the email. Okay, this is the email. Okay, this is the email sent by the university lecturer. Okay, so this is the email that you have to read and understand, and then try to infer the meaning of some unfamiliar words or maybe phrases or expression that come across, which actually is quite difficult for you to understand. You might actually infer contextually those meaning, the meaning of those phrases, the words and expression. Okay, so this is the email in the sample. It is from Hassan Abu at university.edu.my to students in the mailing list at university.edu.my. The subject is about research invitation. The subject is research invitation. Dear students, we are conducting interviews as part of some research for the university's computer science department about how the subject of computer science is seen and experienced by both students and the public. As a first-year computer science students, you are in an excellent position to give us valuable first-hand information about your own position. The interview takes around 30 minutes and is very informal. We are simply trying to capture your thoughts and views on being a student here in computer science and learn about your previous use of technology in education. Your responses to questions will be kept confidential, and each interview will be given a number code to make sure that your personal information is not shown during the analysis and in the report. Your participation will be valuable to our research and findings, could lead to greater public understanding of computer science and the people involved in the field. As a reward, you will receive a RM5 voucher on completion of the interview. This voucher can be used to make purchases at any of the stores in the university, including the bookstore and pharmacy. It is valid for a month from the date of the interview. If you are willing to participate, please contact my secretary to suggest a day and time that suits you within the next month. I'll do my best to be available, though I will be holding seminars and giving lectures at certain times of the day. I will be away for a conference from the end of the month. If you have any questions about the research, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that you will be willing to contribute to this valuable study. Kind regards, Hassan Abu, Lecturer, Faculty of Computer Science. So this is a formal email. So the language used is formal, of course, for the students to participate in a research, right? So the lecturer is actually conducting a research about computer science, and then he invites the students, the computer science students, to involve in the research as their sample, right? So there are words here that you have to pay attention. In paragraph 2, let's say the word capture here. We are simply trying to capture your thoughts. As in English, there are many meanings of one particular word. But in this context, in the context of this email, capture here means not to catch something, right? But here is actually to succeed in expressing something, right? So to capture your thoughts means ideas, your thoughts and views. So to capture your ideas and views. So remember, the word capture contextually mean as succeed in expressing something, right? And then maybe there are other words that you don't understand. For example, here, confidential. Confidential means something secret. So your responses to questions will be kept confidential. This means that the responses will be a piece of secret information, right? So maybe the other word of here, maybe the word valid. The word valid. Okay. Paragraph 3, it is valid for a month from the date of the interview. The word valid. So valid means acceptable or still acceptable or not yet expired. Not yet expired or unexpired. Okay. And next, there might be other words that you don't understand sometimes. How about the last paragraph? If you have any questions about the research, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Please do not hesitate to get in touch. So this is an expression that actually means you are to always contact the lecturer or the secretary regarding on the research. So the word hesitate means pause. Hesitate means the action of you pause and then hold back. Pause and hold back for a moment. You are not that certain. You are uncertain. That's why you pause and you hold back. That is hesitate. And get in touch is an idiom. This is a good expression. To get in touch means to get connected, to communicate or to contact a respective person, for example. Here in this context, it is to get in touch with maybe the secretary or maybe with the lecturer regarding on the responses towards the research. Okay. Okay, so this is question 5. This is question 5 based on the text just now that you have read. Question 5. Hassan sent the email because he is looking for. Hassan sent the email because he is looking for whether A, suitable people to take part in a project, or B, students who want to learn more about his work, or C, people to organize interviews as part of some research. So the answer, whether A, suitable people to take part in a project, or B, students who want to learn more about his work, or C, people to organize interviews as part of some research. So this is more on the skill of to actually to identify the purpose of the text. The purpose of the text. Question 6. Hassan says that the interview is informal, so that the students feel whether A, happy about studying in the computer science department, or B, confident about what they will be learning, or C, comfortable about giving their opinions. Number 6, Hassan says that the interview is informal, so that the students feel rather happy about studying in the computer science department, or confident about what they will be learning, or C, comfortable about giving their opinion. Okay, that is question 6. Okay, question 7. In the research, Hassan aims to whether A, find out something about technology in schools, or B, learn why the students chose to study at the university, or C, discover what the ambitions of computer science students are. Okay, this is question 7. In the research, Hassan aims to find out something about technology in schools, or B, learn why the students chose to study at the university, or C, discover what the ambitions of computer science students are. Okay, next is question 8. Okay, the purpose of the RM5 voucher is to A, prove how important scientific research is to the university, or B, encourage students to provide information for the research, or allow students to buy materials for use in the research. This is question 8. The purpose of the RM5 voucher is to prove how important scientific research is to the university, Or B, encourage students to provide information for the research. Or C, allow students to buy material for use in the research. Okay, the last question. Question 9. Hassan says that he can interview the students. Hassan says that he can interview the students A, only on certain days of the week, or B, before his departure for an event, or C, at a time when they are not attending lectures. So Hassan says that he can interview the students only on certain days of the week, before his departure for an event, and C, at a time when they are not attending lectures. So for part 2, candidates are tested on reading for main ideas and supporting details. You must know how to identify the main idea and then which actually are the details, and then to make inference, to identify the details and example, and to also predict outcomes. Okay, so question 5 to 9 are based on a text, an email sent by a lecturer. So it's quite straightforward email. It's quite straightforward email. Okay, let us see the suggested answers. Okay, for number 5, Hassan sent the email because he's looking for a suitable A. The answer is A, suitable people to take part in the project. Question 6, Hassan says that the interview is informal so that the students feel C, comfortable about giving their opinions. Question 7, in the research, Hassan aims to B, learn why the students chose to study at the university. Question 8, the purpose of the RM5 voucher is to B, encourage students to provide information for the research. And question 9, Hassan says that he can interview the students B, before his departure for an event. Okay. Okay, so those are introduction to MUET in general, the new syllabus, the new format, the new specification for MUET, particularly for semester 1 students, for first session of MUET test in 2021. And so I have to say that within this limited time, I have to only a very short time for introducing some of the reading parts, a few of the reading parts, in fact, from reading components. So part 1 and part 2. So okay. It is almost the end of the lesson today. So in order to master the reading skill, it is very important for you to read extensively, to critically read. Of course, it involves you to read different genres and different type of texts. From that, you learn words and phrases. It's very important to learn words and phrases from your reading. And practice makes perfect. It's very important to always practice. So when it comes to the real test, you are familiar with the skills involved. And every time you do the practice, make sure you do self-reflection. Do self-assessment to actually measure your performance, your skill in reading particularly, and hopefully there are some attempts for you to improve your reading skill. That's all from me for this session. For those who for those who are going to enroll for semester 1, lower 6 semester 1 in this coming July, in this 15 July, welcome to school, welcome back to school, and then enjoy yourself. Okay, have a nice day, and thank you for your time, and have a magnificent day. Be safe. Thank you. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and bye-bye.
Daripada Anas bin Malik radhiyallahu anhu berkata, Nabi SAW pernah berdoa, Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal barasi wal jununi wal juzami wa min sayil asqam. Ya Allah, aku berlindung denganmu daripada penyakit sopak, penyakit gila, penyakit kusta dan penyakit-penyakit yang buruk. Hadis diriwayatkan oleh Al-Imam Abu Dawud dengan sanad yang sahih.